It's nothing you can say could tear me away from my God.
She was an excellent performer.
It's nothing you can do, 'cause
She sounded incredible until she was struck by a personal tragedy, a singer's worst nightmare, the monster they call throat cancer.
I have cancer. I'm fighting for my life.
I got a call from her. She was appearing in Canada, and her throat just cut out on her. She couldn't sing. She could barely talk.
With no medical insurance and unable to perform again, things went from bad to worse.
Her finances were drained by medical expenses when she and her then 4-year-old daughter Sugar were evicted from their apartments.
And no matter how much help she received,
Money came from Rod Stewart, Bruce Springsteen, Diana Ross, and her former boss at MOTOWN.
the cancer refused to go away.
She thought her radiation treatment had been successful until last month.
The cancer came back. It's 2 small tumors.
In desperation, she resorted to desperate measures that would open a huge can of worms.
Mary would also file a lawsuit against MOTOWN and its new owners at Universal, claiming the company owed her money. MOTOWN countered with the argument that Mary had surrendered her royalties when she left in 1964.
You write in your book that no rumor has been more painful to me, you say, than the one that accused MOTOWN of cheating its artists.
The one thing that I was very, very careful about was paying everybody what they had coming.
You gave away, or what did you give away to MOTOWN?
No. That's what a lot of people don't know. That's why I'm saying I wrote a book that'll be out in about 9 months.
That fight, however, ended less than a year later when she succumbed to the disease, dying virtually penniless after a life plagued not only by bad business deals, but also by a string of disastrous relationships.
I've been through how many divorces? From 17 to 48. I've had 3 divorces.
From sex, violence, and
This article
drugs,
appeared in the Globe, claiming she'd been a heroin addict for 25 years, that her children had been found near drugs, and that she'd lost custody of her kids because of her addiction.
this is the tumultuous and painful story of Mary Esther Wells.
You beat me to
She had all the poise, charisma, and seemed destined for the music business.
Mary Wells was the star. Mary Wells was definitely the first lady of MOTOWN.
Known as the First Lady of MOTOWN and its first true icon, Mary introduced the MOTOWN label in style.
Mary Wells was our first major artist,
paving the way for others by setting both the stage and the standard.
Mary Wells would come through the lobby and she'd have her entourage behind her and we're standing there like, wow, yeah, that's the way we want to be.
And this standard was possible because she was fortunate enough to find not only an ambitious Berry Gordy, fresh, determined, and committed to making stars through his assembly line approach, but more importantly, an energetic Smokey Robinson, whose songwriting genius was wholeheartedly devoted to her.
The very first artist I had a chance to produce and work with productively all on my own was Mary Wells. And at that time, we didn't have a bunch of artists like eventually we did have.
Everything simply aligned for her.
The matter is that Smokey was just made for her, what he was writing, or she was made for him, whatever.
After I started to write and produce records for you, my career just took off. And you're such a great singer, I really think it was due to you, you know?
You wrote me some good ones. The One Who Really Loves You, You Beat Me to the Punch, Two Lovers, and My God.
She was at the top, riding the wave of success, until the devil came whispering in her ear. The devil in the form of her husband, Herman Griffin. Griffin, who was 7 years older than Mary, became her manager immediately after marrying her when she turned 18. Many believed he saw Mary as his meal ticket out of poverty.
Her husband at that time, I believe, thought that she probably could become a bigger artist, moving along.
He encouraged her to leave MOTOWN, and his plan was simple: poison her mind against the label by poking holes in the contract she had signed at just 17. For context, Mary had grown up in poverty and signed that contract under circumstances some would describe as desperate.
He asked me if I wanted a record deal, and I said, yes, I wanted one, Because, like I grew up without a father, my mother was working. So I know I wasn't going to get a scholarship to go to college. And being from a poor family, give me a chance to help my mother out. So I jumped at it, yeah, sure did.
By the time she turned 21, she was convinced Motown was taking advantage of her.
It was in Mary Wells' home where we had gone to teach her. And little did we know that she already was preparing to leave the company.
Many people were after her at that time. So somebody just made them an offer that they felt like they couldn't refuse, like a Godfather offer or something. Maybe it was a Godfather. Maybe.
Combined with the fact that she was the hottest artist around and receiving increasingly lucrative offers elsewhere, it became difficult to persuade her otherwise.
By this company being a family and myself being a very feminine female, I took it real hard and I felt like, wow, you hurt me and I think I've been used or whatever, and I'm going somewhere else.
So she left, even if it meant signing away the rights to her future royalties.
She agreed under a court settlement to waive her future royalties for the right to leave her contract with 3 years left on it from MOTOWN.
Leaving Motown may have been a devastating loss for Berry Gordy and the label, but it ultimately became a blessing in disguise. It gave Smokey Robinson the opportunity to work closely with the struggling Temptations.
He was writing material for the Miracles and for Mary Wells. The best thing that happened for the Temptations is when Mary Wells left the company. That opened him up for us.
What was previously my guy would quickly turn to be my girl. Leaving Motown turned into a curse. She soon discovered that the problems she had tried to escape existed everywhere.
The reason why I left, it was just that I was having problems with the record company. And mainly I was young, I thought that I was having problems. And I found out later that everybody had problems with record companies.
Even worse, it became clear that much of her success had depended on Smokey Robinson's magic touch. Without Smokey, it only meant one thing. Her days of topping the charts were over.
She didn't have the same kind of intensity as far as her getting the music and songs like she did at Motown. So consequently, she didn't fare the success as well.
Trusting her husband's influence may have damaged her career, but it also exposed a much deeper issue: her poor judgment when it came to relationships. In what would become a recurring pattern, her relationships did nothing but leave her hurt, vulnerable, and used. After leaving Motown, where rumors circulated that she had been subjected to the highly controversial casting couch culture involving Berry Gordy, and divorcing Griffin after he cheated on her with a prostitute, she became involved with Jackie Wilson, the man she had grown up admiring and loving. However, Jackie only introduced her to drugs and alcohol. Later, Mary also had a relationship with Carl Davis, Jackie's producer. She quickly moved on. In 1966, Wells, then 23, married 19-year-old Cecil Womack, and they had 3 children. Although Wells was initially attracted to Cecil's brother Curtis, she eventually began an affair with him after her career stalled. This caused strife within the Womack family and led her to attempt to take her own life in 1977. She later divorced Cecil and married Curtis, with whom she had a child.
My life is in your hands. You're the doctor, and I'm the patient.
Ultimately, her addiction to cocaine and heavy smoking during the lowest points of her life is what greatly contributed to her downfall. After developing throat cancer, she died on July 26, 1992, at the age of 49. Berry Gordy covered her funeral expenses.
To the end, in the face of all her problems, she remained optimistic.
Well, I just look at the best things that are happening in my life, and I tell Satan to get behind me and let the Lord get in front of me.